she needs to realise that when we vote for a budget, we don't get to pick and choose which lines in the budget we're going to support. We have to take it as a whole. Now, it was Winston Churchill that once said, he's already been quoted by Fergus Ewing in this debate, the pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. The optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. And the SNP government is nothing if it isn't pessimistic. At every turn they block progress, stifle ambition, cling to outdated dogma and ideology. Well, it's time for Scotland to start seeing the opportunities before us. And I agree with Graham Simpson on this. It is going to take a change of Scottish Government for that to happen. The SNP will not change. And that change that we're looking for means embracing nuclear technology. It's the very opposite of the motion in the name of the Cabinet Secretary. And that would be part of our clean, secure and prosperous future. But the SNP and the Greens want to take Scotland down a dead-end road where energy insecurity, high prices and economic decline await us. Their opposition to nuclear power is based not on science or economics. It is based solely on ideology. I recently met young Scottish apprentices working in the nuclear sector. They were bright, they were ambitious, they were highly skilled. Their futures were exciting. They were at the forefront of an industry that offers some of the best paid, most secure and most future-proof jobs in the world. I will take an intervention.
Karen Adam.
Just on that, on the point of economic opportunities, the CBI reported last week that net zero industry is growing 3 times faster than the overall UK economy, providing high-wage jobs and boosting energy security. What does the member say to that in response?
Stephen Kerr.
I say we can have it all in Scotland. We can have it all. It's not either or. And I go back to my young Scottish apprentices. The sad reality in the indictment of this so-called nationalist government, it's a very strange nationalism, this, because if they want to pursue their careers, they have to leave Scotland. That's not just bad policy, that is a betrayal of Scotland's future. If we are serious about cutting emissions, getting energy prices lower and securing thousands of skilled jobs for generations to come, then we must invest in nuclear energy, and in particular in SMRs. Nuclear is now one of the safest, most reliable and cleanest energy sources in the world. SMRs are quicker to build. There's a lot of propaganda about how long it takes. They're quicker to build, they're cheaper to operate, and they're far more flexible. I will give way to the Minister.
Well, grateful to the member giving way. He mentions that the idea that it might take a while to build nuclear power stations in Scotland to address our energy needs is simply propaganda. How long does he think it might take?
Stephen Kerr.
Well, the record shows that SMRs can be built in between 7 and 10 years. That's very realistic. Very realistic. And that's why we shouldn't be turning up our noses in Scotland to SMRs. They use... I will give one time again. I'll give way.
Paul Sweeney.
Thank the member for giving way on that point. Does he recognise that, for example, a reactor pressure vessel for an SMR could be built at Rosyth and then taken by barge to Torness and connected to the existing turbine holder, and it would be a fairly easy job to do in relative terms?
Stephen Kerr.
I bow before the expertise of Paul Sweeney on these matters, but that sounds exciting to me. That sounds like the kind of future that I want for Scotland and for the future of the people that will live in Scotland. These SMRs use less space than wind farms, can be located close to where the power is needed, and that is critical in relation to the controversies over transmission. Nuclear power stations can be built nearer to where the power will be used, and they run 24/7. They're not weather dependent when the sun doesn't shine. We've heard that countless times in this debate. They are the perfect complement to intermittent renewables like wind and solar, and they create thousands of high-quality jobs from engineering and construction to operations and maintenance. And here's the kicker. The UK government, both the Conservative one and this Labour one, already back SMRs. But where's the SNP? Standing in the way. Billions of pounds of investment and talent that could flow into Scotland if we got behind nuclear, boosting our economy instead of watching investment and talent heading out of Scotland to England, Wales or abroad. Scottish businesses and universities could lead in nuclear innovation, attracting global talent and cementing our place as a leader in clean energy technology. But instead of grasping these opportunities, the SNP banned nuclear outright, shutting Scotland out of a rapidly expanding, exciting global industry. The United States, China, Canada and the EU countries investing heavily in nuclear, but not Scotland. Meanwhile, the SNP wants to cling on, I think for comfort, as they sink to their outdated 1970s anti-nuclear rhetoric, while pretending that renewables alone can meet all of Scotland's energy needs. They are failing Scotland's workers, offering them false promises of green jobs without delivering real long-term opportunities. They are failing Scotland's households. They are failing future generations. If we're serious about a secure, low-carbon and prosperous future, then we must embrace a balanced energy mix, one that combines renewables, oil and gas for transition and nuclear, and that means lifting Scotland's nuclear ban and allowing SMRs to be built in Scotland, close to where the power is needed. That means supporting nuclear apprenticeships.
Mr Kerr, you need to conclude.
I will. That means making Scotland a leader in nuclear innovation. How on earth can you call...
Right, I now call Fergus Ewing to be followed by Emma Harper. Mr Ewing.
When I had the privilege of